Hey there, I'm walking. No kidding, John, you're walking. Who cares? Well, I had a few people say that they missed this type of video, and I just wanted to get out of the house. This afternoon, I was editing video this morning, video number 5 in the Workbench series, and I don't know, got a little bit sick of that. Nice day out, nice and bright and sunny anyway, not too cold. It's still kind of wintry here, like there's still snow on the ground, you can see, but it's nice and it's improving. You know, I've been working on my workbench, and that's a big project, and I've been making videos that go along with that. However, they're in a build series that is going out to people that are actually paying to get them. So they're not going on my YouTube channel. And then I got some people saying, well, we missed your videos or whatever. And I can understand that. But, okay. I've got hundreds of videos on YouTube, like every other YouTuber that's been doing it for as long as I have, like a woodworker. Hundreds of videos that I'm sure, at least a few of them, they haven't seen. And like if you're jonesing for content, you don't have to watch the latest thing. Woodworking is old, all right? Woodworking existed before I was born. It existed before anybody that's alive on the earth today was born, as far as that goes. And really, there's not much new happening. I mean, there are a few different ways of doing things, yes. A few interesting tools that have come out, yes. But by and large, it's the same thing. It's kind of like movies. Right? There haven't been a lot of new movies coming out lately. And so, I don't know what people have been doing. Had they been going back and watching some of the really excellent movies that were made before? Because that's what I do. I actually, most of the time, prefer to watch an older movie than some of the new junk that's coming out. Because the new junk is so formulaic, and I mean, there are exceptions, of course. But, and of course, the same thing existed back when the older movies were made too. But you've got that pool to choose from. You understand what I mean? You don't have to wait for the newest thing to come. You can go and watch something truly good that's already there. So, same thing goes for woodworking videos. So at this point, I can talk about the old videos that I recommend, or I could talk about old movies that I recommend. I left the door open on both of those, but I'm at the end of the trail, almost. I gotta turn around and head back. And I'll decide on the return leg of the journey. Okay, it's the return leg of the journey already. That was quick. Yeah, things happen quickly here in Canada. So what else can I talk about? I can talk about walking, and I didn't come out here at any point during the winter and do this, but I have been walking. I got a treadmill, and I've been doing it every day with the idea of getting in better shape. And I've been at it religiously since November, around mid-November. So it's my intention to stick with it for the rest of my life. And I can say that there's been a definite improvement. Like, it's kind of like night and day. I hit my low point a little more than a year ago when I went and I helped my brother do the roof on his house. And I mean, I lasted until noon before I had to give up and leave. Like, I was so exhausted. so drained, completely wiped. That's how, and I mean, I used to be able to work circles around just about anybody. But it's insidious the way it goes, how you let your health fall down like that. Because it's a day at a time thing. And conscious of it happening, but it's happening so slowly that it doesn't seem to be a major thing until you actually get there. And boy, I was there. So I made a vow at that time to do more exercising, and to that end, my brother gave me that treadmill that I was using. He found it on the side of the road, actually. He figured I could use it for that, or I could use the motor in it, or whatever. So I used that until it broke. And then I bought one of those magnetic resistant ones. And that thing is a torture device, I'll tell you. But it's really effective. And so I do it twice a day, you know. So the workbench I'm still working on. Yesterday I cut the white oak for the top of the workbench. I also came up with a new name for it this morning, and I renamed the video that I had on my main channel showing me cutting the dovetails. I'm calling it the engineered workbench. And I'm calling it that not because I'm an engineer, because I'm not, but because it is not made in the way that the typical workbench is, with a totally solid top that's prone to warpage and expansion and contraction, and something that you have to flatten periodically. This workbench design gets around that. Doesn't there's a little bit of expansion contraction in the dog hole strip, but I don't think that that's going to be an issue. But the top itself is made up of a core of sheet goods and then capped with a thick veneer. So I'm almost done with the workbench. I just have that to do, actually, glue that on, and then I can finish the bench with, well, the base is finished already. I kind of made a mistake with that. I used this old water-based poly that made it kind of funny looking. I actually made a video about that, but I'm going to use some nice clean new stuff for the top. And you know, resisting the urge to use the oil that really pops the wood, but then I get sick of real quick. So I'm using the water-based stuff instead, which makes the wood look more natural. It doesn't give that oil look. But like I said, it looks great when you first do it, and then it starts to look kind of crappy after a while. I mean, that's what I think anyway. You know, other people might think differently. You might think differently. And you're allowed to. You're allowed to disagree with me. That's fine. What I like, you might not like. Doesn't mean you have really bad taste. Yeah, I'm almost back to the start. This wasn't much of a walk, so I'll probably get on the treadmill when I get home on top of this. But it's nice to get out in the fresh air, you know, out of the house and away from the editing computer and away from the torture machine treadmill.
You go inside the cage. Cage goes in the water. You go in the water. Shark's in the water. Our shark. Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu.